What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are, looking at the price on this, the 2nd of March, sitting at about $85,000. We only have a few hours left in the day. I mean, almost 9 hours left in the day. But still, I'm under the impression that we are about to break not just out of this 86 and a half thousand dollar range, but we're about to break out of this 80,000 range altogether. I think we really are about to propel upwards to 96.3, 96.5k and beyond. It's going to happen over the coming days, this next week, right? If we're looking at the weekly time frame, it has just as much time left as the daily, because we're, Sunday, it is the end of the week right now. Oftentimes, historically speaking, I shouldn't even say historically speaking, but throughout this cycle, if you look at some of these bigger pump days, they do happen throughout the week. Wednesday is known to be a good pump day. Here, Monday, right there, that was a big pump day. Monday is going to be the day that comes in the next 9 hours here, right? If we look at some of these bigger candles, let's just see. That was a Wednesday there. Just like showing that it happens throughout the week, that was a Wednesday there. This one here was a Tuesday early in the week, right? That was a Monday, that big pump, but that also, ended up dumping down here. We go here. Monday was actually the beginning. It was this low day here. It was the beginning of this last upward move that we had. That gave us the current all-time high. If we keep going back in time, we look at all of these like bigger candles. Look at that Monday right there. Just randomly going through and finding some bigger candles. That's a big candle right there. That was on a Friday, to be fair. Bigger candle right here. That was on a Monday, kind of at the beginning of this upward sloping move, right? Beginning of this upward sloping move. I bet one of these 4 days is a Monday right here. I don't even know because I'm just like moving through it, but let's see. That was a Monday. Who would have guessed? The very beginning of this next, it didn't last for long, but still, it was the beginning of that next upward sloping trend. Down here, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you guessed it, Monday was the day that like we really started getting things going off. But Friday was the day that we ended it. All I'm trying to say, guys, is that Mondays, historically speaking, I keep saying historically, I should just say throughout this cycle, have provided opportunities for us to pump, right? There's a Monday right there that started this leg up right here. Monday right there. We keep going back in time. Wednesday, another one of those Wednesdays. But if we keep going forward, you can see that Monday here was a pretty big day as well throughout this move. We go back here. I wonder what this day is. It was a Friday, to be fair. Monday, another bullish day. And I'm not saying that I'm just pulling up every bullish Monday. Look at out of this move, the biggest day was Monday. That doesn't mean that there's not big Mondays to the downside. I'm sure there are. I've just been looking at the green. Though to be fair, actually, I can't seem to find any right now, but that's okay. Monday here was kind of the kickoff to this elevated move up here. Monday right there. It wasn't the biggest move this time, but it still kicked us off. We did find the low earlier in the week, and that was actually on a Wednesday. Going back in time even more, down here, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? And then down here, where do we start? Yeah, Monday. Monday right there, all the way down here. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that's whenever we started getting things going. So I'm just saying, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but throughout this whole bull cycle, which that's essentially what we just did there, was we've identified around roughly the average time that Bitcoin likes to make its moves up. And it's generally either at the very end of a week or at the very beginning of a week. And sometimes Wednesdays can be pretty good too, but Mondays seem to be the day that get us going, and that makes sense. It's the beginning of a new week. Sometimes we find the low on Mondays. Oftentimes that's what begins our next kind of kickoff to the next area. And today is Sunday, right? Tomorrow will be Monday the 3rd. I don't know how obscure that analysis is or not, but it's just something that I've noticed. I really do look forward to Mondays. It's very disappointing whenever we have a Monday that does this. It moves down a lot. That's very disappointing because I know that there's been a couple Mondays throughout this range. Even this was a Monday. That kind of the biggest green candle that we've had in a while. It's disappointing whenever they're red because I really do look forward to Mondays, not just because it's the end of a week and the beginning of a new week, but because that tends to be the time when Bitcoin starts to get more exciting and we start to move up to those next levels. So I'm not saying that in the next 8 hours and 46 minutes we're going to be up at 96,500, but I think it's going to be a lot more obvious over the next 24. What's 24 plus 9? That would be 33. Why did that take me so long to do? 33. 96.2k, 96.5k. We're going to be up there, I think, in the next probably 3 days. By Wednesday is my guess, if not earlier, by Wednesday. So that would mean by this day here, right? We're going to be moving up, you guys. to that next area. And if we're not here by Wednesday, we're certainly going to look as though we're on our way. But I'm just going to assume, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday down this time. It might be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday up the next time. Hold on. All right. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame. Actually, first, just look at the daily RSI again. Being that we are at the base of this downtrend and we're recovering, it looks like, right? If we had a downtrend in the RSI, I think it's very obvious that we're at the lower end of it. Lower lows, lower highs, all that stuff. I would assume at the very least we're due for some kind of move that would take us to the 50. And that kind of move at least would take us, if not to 60 or 96,500, 96.3 thousand, it would at least take us somewhere back above the 90s, right? Over the coming days. Something relatively relieving is likely going to come over the next coming days. Let's see if we can validate that on the shorter term time frames as well. The 4 hour is good for estimating coming days. The daily time frame is actually better for estimating like the weeks to come, and the weekly time frame is better for like the months to come. It's kind of funny how that is, but it makes sense, right? Because in a day, on the daily basis, you probably need like 4 to 10 candles just to figure things out, and I mean maybe even more than that. So that's weeks of time that we're talking about there. The 4 hours, same thing. It'll take like days of time before you get anything that's validating. You don't just look at a 1 candle, a 3 candle period inside the day and then determine what you're doing. You have to look at the whole picture, which is normally days of picture. I hope that all makes sense. I'm just going in extreme explanation mode apparently. We are still playing off of this bullish divergence. We have not completed the bullish divergence yet. This is double bullish divergence right here, and it began right here. Okay, from this low, we have a. Oops, hold on now. I hate my internet here, guys. I gotta get something else. T-Mobile internet, you suck. I'm gonna get something else, man. I'm gonna get like a local internet provider. I know that they've got better service out here. It might be a little more expensive, but whatever. I'm tired of it. That's higher low here, higher low there. It started back here, right there, lower low, something like that, right? Bullish divergence is double bullish divergence. It started back at this line at $87.1 thousand, and we have not interacted with it. We did interact with it here, but that was before the divergence was completed. So we still are not done with this move up. What I'm expecting is that we're not going to move lower than this low at the very least until we get above this line. And not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't think we're going below this low, but that's just for the bears out there. If you're bearish, if you think that we're going to go lower, that's cool. Just understand it's not starting now, and in fact, likely we are going to have a little push up higher before and if we were to ever move lower. I don't think we're moving lower, and I think the higher we get, the more obvious that'll seem. Truthfully, once we're back above this breakout point here where Bitcoin literally dropped the floor, it's going to be undeniable at that point that this is the low. So I'm really looking forward to this move over the coming week, over the coming days. I'm fully expecting it to happen. The 4 hour time frame, I meant to look at this on the RSI. I'm sorry. We've got a downtrend here, a momentary downtrend. Maybe it's a little bit longer too. Let's see. Kind of a longer overall. I don't know. It's a relatively bearish trend. I wouldn't call this whole thing a downtrend, but kind of. If you get rid of the blemishes, it kind of looks like, oops, that's not the best drawn straight line. It kind of looks like you've got a downtrend here, and if you get rid of the blemishes, something like that, I don't know. Looks like we're breaking out of it. It does look like we're more productive than we've been over the the past couple days at least, getting above this 50 here. I would like to see us not just get above the 50, but get above the 60, maintain readings like we did this time, except we need to get in the overbought zone. We can't reject. It's okay if you reject the overbought zone on the first attempt, maybe even the second attempt, but whenever you reject it, you can't go below the 40. You can't. You really can't. If you do something like this, if it's just like a dramatic drop, that would scare me. If it was something that was more, let's say, methodical, that's okay. That wouldn't intimidate me as much. But something that's above the 50, above the 60, that's what we want to see. We want to see maintained readings in these areas up here, and especially we want to get in the overbought zone. I think a move like what I'm calling for over the coming days would provide all of that, but time will tell. We haven't been in the overbought zone on the 4 hour time frame since our all-time high run right here, right? That's how vital it is to do this. So we will get those readings if we move up in the manner that I'm thinking. If we wick to these areas and then we close like below or at 90K, if we see some pretty heavy resistance up here, that could be an indication that in fact we are going lower. So watch out for that. but I'm very much expecting that it's going to be a bullish endeavor to the upside, guys. We have decreasing volume here on this trend as we're going lower, and now we're just slowly trickling up, right? All the selling pressure is gone, so it's way easier to move the prices up. If people are like, if you had all this volume to move down, isn't it concerning that there's no volume on the way up? Well, there was a lot of volume at the lows, actually, and the fact that there's no volume on the way up is just because it took a lot of volume to push the price down here, right? It took a lot of selling pressure. That selling pressure is gone now. Now, if there's no selling pressure, you don't need as much buying pressure to retrace those prices. But whenever you do break out, whenever you get probably above where this initial zone happened, above like $90,000, $89,500, we would look for at least some heavier volume to come in, more so than what we're relatively speaking, or relatively looking at right now. But it doesn't even have to be as heavy as these levels are. Really, we'll need the heavy volume to come in once we're getting above 96K, once we're getting above 105K, really, especially up here. That's when we want to see more volume on the daily and stuff like that come in. But I'm just rambling at this point, so I got nothing else to say. I think the 1 hour time frame here, you've got lower lows in the RSI. You've got higher lows in the price. That's hidden bullish divergence. You're literally about to bounce right here. There's no doubt in my mind that this is probably the low of the day, and you're going to move up from here. 15-minute time frame in the oversold zone. If you were to go lower, if I'm wrong and it's not the absolute low, maybe you go just a hair lower, but just a hair. It's not going to be much. From a low to a high here, let's just see. That's the fake out high, so we're going to take this high. You're right at the golden ratio. Yeah, if you were to move lower, 84.7K is the lowest that I give you. So not even a full $500 down from here. That's what I would give you if you were to move lower, but I don't even know if you do that. I think if you were to move lower, you'd essentially do it now. So if it doesn't happen within the next hour or so, maybe hour or two, I wouldn't think it happens at all. In fact, I would assume that whether it does happen in the next hour or two or not, you're probably going to see some relief. We're going to come back up by the end of today. We're down just 1%, not even 1% today. We're in a very good position to not only close this day green, or to not close it red, but to close it somewhat green. I don't know how much higher we'll go, but I do expect Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this next week, I think it's going to be pretty damn good. So that's all I got to say. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.